Bitcoin. Welcome to Thriller Bitcoin.
How was your weekend?
Crazy, right? Like Sunday, I traveled from Vancouver to Denver to Houston, and I just arrived in Brazil.
Really?
So it's like almost 24 hours.
Golly. I think the last time I saw you, you were in Nashville.
In Nashville,
right?
yes.
Yeah, that was like 2 months ago, maybe?
Sorry?
That was like 2 months ago, right? In Nashville?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
A lot's changed for you since then.
No, and it's going to be crazy because I'm leaving here on the 9th, which means I arrive on Monday. I'm going to leave on Wednesday to Argentina, stay in Argentina for 4 days. Then I go to El Salvador.
Oh, wow. So you're right there. You're there now for SatsConf, right? Is that where...
Yeah, SatsConf, La BitConf, and Adopting Bitcoin. One of my favorite events in Bitcoin. Yes.
Are
you coming?
No, I have to stay here at Pleb Lab, and Kyle's going to the El Salvador one, but I got to stay at Pleb Lab and do Pleb Lab things. But I was going to ask you, I'm just curious, like how do you effectively go to every conference and all these different things and like still maintain your like, for me, like try to meet everybody and like doing all, it takes a lot out of me, but I see you and you're always like there, you're the party. You're the party.
The thing is, I love what I do. It's like, it feeds me, like I don't realize how, interact with people. First of all, I love people, right? So interact with people just brings me a lot of energy. And also talk about Bitcoin with people, It's like I enter in the Uber. My husband always complains about it. Like I enter in the Uber, I start to talk with the person. And then he tells me his life in 5 minutes. And then the other 5 minutes I talk about Bitcoin. And then like my husband's like, oh my God, here we go again.
Okay. So you're more like, you just have to, like, that's where you get your energy from, just being around people. It sounds like. I could see that.
Yes, I love people. I love people.
You know what I like doing? I love people too, but I love putting people in a place, in a room, and then sitting back and watching people talk and interact. Like that's what I love doing. Does that make sense?
So you love Big Brother, basically, right?
I like getting like people, all these people, gathering people and like seeing everybody have fun. If that makes sense.
I never, ever. I don't know, maybe this can change some point, but I never meet someone that didn't have an amazing story to tell. Never. I always learn from someone, like it's incredible how everyone has something amazing to share with you if you give the chance.
Yeah.
So
I want to hear about your story.
I'm always looking for this.
I want to hear about your story. So tell me your story, Renata, like where did you come from? How did you get involved in Bitcoin?
So I was born in Brazil and I've been traveling around the globe, like living different places for almost 15 years. And I learned about Bitcoin in a very interesting way because I started in Paxful as a regular marketeer, like nothing special. But the thing is, I was lucky enough to be sent to Colombia in a tour, like 30 days in a tour. And I learned I always recognize this, like I was orange pilled by people that use Bitcoin in a daily basis, or people that was like, got their lives totally transformed by Bitcoin. So since then, I start to get crazy. Like, I need to tell this. Bitcoin always was like a scam or a pyramid, like for my mom, for example, she always would call me and say, for 1 year, she would be like, are you sure you are in US? You're going to go to the jail because you work with Bitcoin.
Wow, your mom would say that? Bearish mom. Kidding.
And, but I understood the value of this, like from the people. I mean, I met like people that would be a tax driver and suddenly become like a huge Bitcoin trader, or someone that opened up a different business around Bitcoin. I don't know, someone that would charge phones with Bitcoin. Like, it's just this feeling of people helping people around the globe, around the currency. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it's funny though, because I have a really weird resume. Like,
do you really?
I use, so I graduated in the college as a IT person. So now I'm going to give my age to you. It's like I used to program on C++.
Oh, okay. So you're 25.
Basic.
You're about 25, 27, around there.
I wish. And then I did journalism in the university. And when we moved to Canada, I did marketing. I graduated as a marketing specialist. And all the times people would look for my resume and say, you don't know what you want in your life, right? Like, it doesn't match anything that you're doing. And when I started to work with Bitcoin, everything got connected, right? Because I could translate what people on the streets need to developers. I could translate difficult products to regular people. So things like just matched like perfectly. So that's why I love it. So, but I'm a weirdo, right? Like,
no, you're not.
I'm not a conventional.
No, you're not. I think the coolest thing about you is when I first met you, there's just an energy that you bring to a conversation that's infectious. It's like, no, seriously, like it's one of the, and I didn't even know you, but I felt like I knew you. Does that make sense? Like, where it's like you can climb over that hill like really, really fast. And that's like the hardest thing when it comes to talking to Bitcoiners. We're so like in our ways, but you just like hop over that and be like, cool, I'm like that too. Or I want to learn about it. Like, that's what's cool about you. Like, that's what I noticed right away. It's like, I want to know more about how Renata does the things that she does.
No, thank you. Thank you for that. I mean, but it's very natural. Like, people always say to me, like, Renata, you're not like a regular Bitcoiner, because everyone has this stereotype of someone very shy, a geek, right? And I'm very like, as I said, like, I love people. So I try to like to get as much as I can and exchange as well, because I think, as I said, like, everyone has something to share. And sometimes what I feel, especially in our community, we lose this connection, like with the people. So we want to help everyone. We want to Bitcoin be everywhere. But we talk about hot wallet, cold wallet. This is like the very simple, right? Because it can go even more difficult ICOs or something like this. And then people are like, oh my God, I'm never going to reach this world, like, so, and I think it's just because we are used to do this with our peers. So we don't get to think that, oh my God, this person beside me might not understand a word that I'm saying right now.
Yeah. What do you find the hardest part to getting people, like, the education? Because I know you were doing the education stuff at Paxful. We'll talk about your new position here in a second, but just like, what's the hardest part about getting to the average, Latin American person to understanding Bitcoin, or what's that first hurdle? I think,
first of all, in the beginning, I want to impose Bitcoin to everyone because I knew it's a good thing, right? And one of the strategies that I start to use and by learning from people, it's Bitcoin doesn't need to be imposed. We need to understand what really Bitcoin can serve the person, right? So there are like different situations, different use cases that you can apply in Brazil that you cannot apply in Africa, or in India.
Okay.
And for me, the main thing was, okay, let's learn first what is the pain points of this community, and think fast and translate those in solution with Bitcoin. And I haven't, most of the times I find that Bitcoin can solve it and people don't realize that, right? One of the things that I remember is also the difficulty that people have. And also in my background, we had this as well at home. I came from a family that doesn't have that much money, or we always was raised with the feeling that we don't have money to save. And this makes sense because if my mom would save money, 10 reais or I don't know, 20 reais, and went to the bank and say, I have 10 reais that I want to put in here, they would laugh on her. Or if she changed this money to, physical money, and she would keep this money, in 1 year, she wouldn't have enough money to buy the same as she started to save when she started to save. And it's very difficult for the global South understand that they can now with Bitcoin save money, like people don't trust on you when you say this, and I met I always tell this story because I met like this lady in El Salvador, and she said to me, right now I can save $2, $3. And she felt so empowered because like, oh my God, I'm like the rich people now, I can make money. And with the time she had, when she showed me her wallet, she had like $1,000 on her wallet.
Wow.
And this touched me so much because I thought, oh my God, this lady would never be able to put that money together. But she's putting, slowly $1, $4, $3 that she would waste in somewhere that she would have never seen. So even on my background, I don't ever teach people about finance because I would think that we really don't have money. We just make mid-cent. But everyone has like 10 cents, we sometimes spend money wrongly because we don't think we can save it. So yes, I think for me, the most difficult thing was that, like in the beginning, understand first the use cases around the people, and then how I can translate this into Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. So it sounds like the kind of like the biggest selling point for Bitcoin in these markets is the savings vehicle that it presents for a lot of them that never thought of saving in this way or with this type of instrument before.
Yes, I mean, it's not the single one. Like I can list a lot. Like there are like also remittance. Myself, I do remittance through Bitcoin, and basically selling my Bitcoin to someone in Brazil so they can give money to or pay someone that I'm looking for. Even with the Lightning right now, like you don't have to wait. And she started to tell me her story that she migrated illegally to US, and she hasn't seen her son like for 10 years. And but she was always sending money back home, right? And but she said like, oh yes, I put like as much as money together in 2 months and sent to my mom. And when I was telling her about like Lightning and how she could send like, oh, mom, I want a candy right now. You can send to him. In her case, because she was from Salvador, she would send even for free. She was like, man, I didn't know about it, like, so people are not stupid. People just doesn't have enough tools to make their finance better. It's basically that. Like, if I have Western Union, it is what it is. So I'm gonna use this. I think we have like and that's why my actions, because I really want to teach more people that they can have to apply in their lives, basically.
I think that's the coolest thing that I think Bitcoin does for a lot of people in not the best situations, is it gives them an opportunity to also play on the same level field. I guess like the same field. How do I say this? The same level playing field as everybody else in the world. And I think that's the coolest thing I always thought about Bitcoin, was that it gives everybody an opportunity to go out and achieve their goals financially. And even sometimes in goals that they might have in their life, right? Like, that's the coolest thing I think that Bitcoin really does for people.
And I got so lucky, Car, because so when I migrated to Canada, I came like from being a marketing director in Brazil, to become like, because, when you arrive in a country, you don't, my English was terrible. It's not that it's good right now, but like, it was terrible. And the single job that I had was as a call center for Western Union. Look how ironic is that, right? So they put someone that talks a bad English to serve people that is really in trouble, right? Like, they want to, and the main situations there were like people maybe they misspell the name of their the person that they want to send the money, and it was like the husband on the jail, or someone abroad that they want to send money in a small amount, like $25 or something like this. And it was interesting. In fact, like was the time that I learned a lot about cursing, because people would curse on me all the time. But then I had the click there that like, oh my God, can you imagine you have your money in your hands, you use someone to help you to send money to someone else, and you're not able to do this because you put like a wrong word or a wrong number, and you don't have enough like scholarship to understand what you did. And there's like this lady saying like, I'm so sorry, I cannot help you, to send the money. And I think this was when I had like the click about empathy, to understand the situation of the others. And was super interesting because on this job, every time someone would say something bad to me, I would treat them even better. And the person started to feel like surprised, like, oh, how come? I called her a name and she's like, of course, sir, let's try to solve this. Do you have another information? And this kind of reflects nowadays, like in my job, in my work with Bitcoin, like, because I could understand how difficult it's been, the life for a lot of people around the globe to do the basics, like even though when they have money, right? Like it's so crazy. And yes, I mean, it's just like how this can be accessible for everyone. It's just amazing. That's why I'm so excited.
It's interesting that you talk about like showing empathy. Like, I always felt, and maybe you feel like this too, but I didn't think about it right now until you just said it. But like, I always felt like if we could walk around with our story and the hardships that we went through into the world and into everybody we meet, like if there was like, kind of like, have you ever seen like the Sims game where like you can highlight over the person and see like a quick little thing about them? it would be so cool if we could have that for each other. And I think we would have a lot more like empathy for each other in the world. It's funny that you say that, but I do the same thing too. Like whenever somebody is like generally upset or there's something going on, I try to just, show them grace and try to understand like, okay, well, maybe there's something that it's not me. It's the day that they're having, or maybe the year that they're having, or whatever situation they're in. But it sounds like you also do that too as well. That's so
a lot.
Yeah, that's good. That's good of you though. It's really good of you to do that.
And yes. And I've been seeing this in the Bitcoin community as well. And that's something that I get so fascinated about us as a community. Maybe I'm lucky, but I haven't met someone bad in Bitcoin, like someone that loves Bitcoin and is a bad person, because, of course, there are a lot of bad intentions around the currency. We know there's people with the different intentions but they don't love Bitcoin. They just want to make something out of this for themselves, right? Like people that really love the currency, it's impossible. You see the love coming from them. So I got like situations, for example, I went to a Brazilian Islam to do a workshop to the local community. And I landed in Rio. I tried to cash money. And because I didn't inform my bank that I was traveling, they froze my account. So I couldn't have cash. So I took the Uber, arriving there. And by the end of my workshop, 2 guys approached me and they told me they were like traders and super interesting that their stories as well, because one came from Togo, the other one came from Benin. So they migrated to Brazil like 5 years ago. And I told to them, oh, can you guys help me? I don't have money. I still need to go back home, go back to São Paulo. And they said, of course. So I sent some Bitcoin to them, some sats to them. They brought like cash to me. And then they said to me, Renata, where are you going right now? And I'm like, oh, I have a meeting in the city hall. Oh, jumping in, come in the car and we go. And I didn't think twice. And I'm not that naive, right? Like I was born in Brazil. My mom would say, how you jump in a car with 2 strangers, 2 men, and they know you have money. They give you the money. And but I didn't think twice. And I can tell a lot of stories like that. Like me being super exposed or sitting in like around people that people would think, oh my God, these guys are suspect. And in fact, like they just are human beings like us that, have families and everything. But the Bitcoin community has the thing that I can't trust. I can't trust in anyone before verifying. Yeah. Even before verifying.
That's so true, right? Like there's just like this, like you shake a Bitcoiner's hand and there's just this underlining conversation that's already taken place before you even have to, to even have lunch or breakfast or share a conversation with. Like you already have like a baseline understanding of, and maybe you don't know what year they came in or anything like that, but maybe you just there's, like you said, there's a sense of trust, right? Like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a good, I always say like, there's like this aura, a good aura around the Bitcoiner that you can recognize from another energy. I don't know. I trust a lot on my energies. So yes, I'm so thankful to be part of this community. I've been seeing really amazing people around the globe. I'm so lucky.
Well, you're doing a big part of the lifting in this community, I will say. And you were at Paxful, and then just here recently, like maybe a couple weeks ago, maybe you it was announced that you're working with Fetty now. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. I know. I'm so excited.
So let's like talk about that. Like, let's talk about like Paxful's like an amazing big company, right? Like they do these big education things, and you were a big part of the growing that. Like, what did you learn there? And then how did you get approached by Fedi? Like, because Fedi's going to be another big project here in 2023.
Yes. I mean, I should say that wasn't difficult, because about Fedi, for me was just when, but I knew that I would join some point, you know. But like Paxo, I saw the company, I helped the company to grow, you know, like when I entered, we were like 20 employees in US, in around 100 around the globe. And when I left was around like 400, you know, like, wow. So it became huge. Like we had like just, I don't know, 3 million or less users, and it became like 10 million. So wow. I'm so proud, like, because what I learned in Paxful was about education. And for me, it's this, I created the whole strategy around education and marketing for the company. And what I learned was like, okay, I can give money to people. They can withdraw. What they're going to do, they're going to withdraw the money, and they can download my app. They're going to withdraw the money, and then they're never going to be back. So by learning this, I understood that they need more education. So I start to push like really strongly education, first in Latin, then I had the chance to do this globally. So we were like a big team of 20 people around the globe, just educating people in Bitcoin. It wasn't even impactful. It was more about Bitcoin and use cases. So people they could like relate to their lives. And, but then in the middle of the way, I was telling this in my tweet about joining Fedi. I was in Adopting Bitcoin last year and met Obi for the first time. And he asked me, Renata, you work with peer-to-peer. When do you think that, regular people, not us Bitcoiners, weirdos, would worry about privacy? And we spent like almost, 2-3 hours confabulating around this. And then in Miami, I saw his speech on open source. And I was like, oh my God, this man's been cooking this idea about privacy since then. And I texted him and I said, look, I'm not a programmer anymore. Like I abandoned this on C++, but anything that you need around community, contact people, I'm here to help Fedi because the project is simply amazing. So, and since then, like on July, OB contact me and say, look, we got this idea for this wallet or this app. And I'm like, okay, oh my God, now here it comes. And since then we've been talking a lot, like really, my intent was like, okay, I want to contribute to this, make it, to be real. But I knew that in the end of the day, I would have joined more than just an advisor or something like this. And right now, like I'm full with the team, and it's been really, really amazing. Because for me, the pinpoint is this blends something that I love, which is peer-to-peer. It still serves the communities, this relationship between people, but now with more privacy. And it's simple. It's I wish you guys could see the app, like, it's so simple. I'm like, man, this is amazing. I can't wait to tell people about it. So it's been like really, and I'm like super fresh. Like I've been in Fed like 1 week.
Really?
But I feel already like,
wow.
Yes. But because we've been talking since July, I knew that a lot about the product. So it helped a lot to speed things up in the company. But yes, I'm so excited. I think this gonna help scale Bitcoin a lot, like a lot. I know the best would be people doing self custody, but by talking with people on the streets, like they need something in the middle. Most of them, something simple that does not require them to save 12 seeds words or, upload something, put software, we have good tools, but they're not simple for, for regular people. I always say regular people. I don't know. We call plebs. I don't know, normies. I don't know. Looks like Bitcoiners are, not regular people, but we are.
Yeah, we're definitely not regular people. We're the.
But yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you. So you've been working for Fetty for about a week. You've been talking to him for a while. Are you going to do more of the education stuff? Is that kind of? You don't have to tell me too much, but I'm just curious. Like, is it going to be more of the education stuff, more of the community stuff, more of the workshop stuff, or is it going to be entirely different kind of? Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of education because we still believe that people need to learn about it. But the angle of education is going to be a bit different. So it's going to be more practical, because as I said, the product is so easy that you're not going to need to teach what is Bitcoin, what is a blockchain, what is Lightning. It's more like how you use this currency, how you do, how you earn Bitcoin. So more practical side of this, basically. So yes, it's going to be very interesting because it's a total different approach. But yeah, it's just the fact that it's peer-to-peer. I mean, I've been in peer-to-peer market already for 3 years. And I always say that, if you want to know what is fresh and innovative in Bitcoin, ask a peer-to-peer user, they're going to tell you crazy stuff they've been doing. And they're going to tell you, if you research about peer-to-peer, you're going to understand what's going to come to traditional Bitcoin market later on, So I could see tendencies of even stablecoin adoption, 6 months before people realized that some countries were using more stablecoin, for example, like Argentina. So you see, I think the peer-to-peer helps you to connect more with the streets, what people really is using Bitcoin for. So it's going to be, I am so excited. I wish I can tell more.
No, you're fine. I think for me, the thing that I thought was fascinated about the Fetty project when Justin was talking about it a lot, earlier this year, was the community banks. For me, that's kind of what really piqued my interest, was the community bank aspect to it. And I think there's definitely something there that needs to be created for the Latin American market, for everybody that wants to do something like that. I think that's the cool part about what Fetty's doing personally.
I don't like the bank term, because brings us to the bad memories.
Yeah.
But I feel with Fetty, it's more than just money. That's the thing that I like the most. It's a privacy on money and also communication. So it's a good mix of essential human rights, right? You should have the right to have free speech, as well as you should have the right to manage your money as your own way. So it's this combination that makes me super excited about the product, that we are developing. And about FedMint, it's just like, again, I know it's self-custody would be the best of the best, but the fact that you choose who you want to trust and the fact that you trust in people that you know, it changes a lot. The way you relate with money, right? It's not just about, one of the things that I always say is like, you open up a lot of privacy because you feel powerless, right? So I don't have another way to send money abroad. So I'm gonna, get rid of my power to choose, and I'm gonna give my information to Western Union or to a bank because that's the single way I have, right? So it is the same logic on this. It's like when you discover that you do have power, you fight for this. So in the same way that you fight for privacy in a bus because someone is like trying to sneak what you are seeing in your mobile, your smartphone, you like go here and there. Oh, come on. It's your privacy, but you have power around there so you can protect yourself. I'm seeing like people that going to be able also to have more power to choose who they wanna trust, and Obi says something that I feel makes sense totally for me. I know in Bitcoin we always say we don't trust, we verify, but with the progress of Bitcoin itself, we need also to add trust as an element to our relationship with Bitcoin, right? Because we just prioritize verify, but then if you don't see that you are trusting a centralized exchange, you realize that you are trusting the wrong place as well as you would trust in a bank.
Yeah, this is interesting. I think that's probably something I haven't heard before about the trust.
I think I lost you.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
I don't know where you lost me, but okay.
No, you're fine. No, I was just saying like it's that privacy aspect to it that you're talking about. That's something that I didn't even think about, like when it got announced, and maybe it got lost in the sauce somewhere. But I feel like that's that's definitely something new that I haven't heard before as far as being a privacy tool. I just remember hearing about community, and like that's how it was going to be, the big thing. And I think that was really cool. But yeah, it's interesting. And you could use Fedi for privacy in some aspect, I guess, with your community, right? Or am I reaching there?
Yes, because the thing is, the guardians of the FedMint, they don't know who is using the money, sending or receiving or depositing, and how much they are depositing, right? So the base of FedMint is the Shamania system, which is like a kind of, you put a carbon paper inside of an envelope and you give it to someone to sign up. So the person doesn't know how much is there inside, but they have the legitimacy.
Yeah, legitimacy. Yeah, I'm following.
Of that transaction, right? So they can go to some point to the guardian and say, "Here's the envelope," and they take the envelope without knowing that what is inside, basically, right? So, but yeah, so in this case, like the guardian, they don't know who is inside and how much who is managing that amount of money, basically. So it brings privacy to the people inside of the community as well.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I can't wait to see more and more these Renata workshops.
Not Renata. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this for devs.
I think for me, I think the education part where you're explaining it to regular users of of the app and stuff like that. I can't wait to see those kind of walkthroughs and that kind of stuff. When do you think that's going to get rolled out? Next year?
I mean, we are planning on March, but I don't know. I don't want to put too much commitment on our product team.
No, that's good. Yeah, it's cool. I think for me, like, I think that's going to be when I look at Fedi and I look at what's being built over there, I'm thinking like, man, how are they going to explain this, to the average, like normie, right? Like not pleb, not like a Bitcoiner, but to the average normal person. I think that's going to be like the big hurdle, to clear.
I don't think so.
No?
No, it's going to be, yes. It's just because of the app. I mean, the way our team is building the app is going to make our life very easy to explain this, because again, you don't need to explain how FedMint works, what is behind the scenes, The person just needs to understand that, okay, I joined this community, this federation, I put my money in there. And when I need, I ask my guardian to sign with me and this money goes, like to whatever I want, basically.
Okay. So it sounds like to me, it's going to be so easy to onboard that it's going to be like me downloading I hate to use this word too, but like a bank mobile app that'd be like, oh yeah, this is where I put my thing in. And like, this is where I send out money and I pay bills and all that kind of stuff. You're saying like, if you can get to that point, then yeah, I think it does. No words have to be spoken, I guess, but
that's what excited me. And,
interesting.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's how I see this coming. Super easy.
There's something to be said about like creating an app, creating the design aspect to it, the flow of like from start to finish to get sending in that first transaction. Like there's something to be said about that process and how to get there, and then doing it so subtly and so like perfect that nothing has to be pointed out to you. Right. I think, they totally can be achievable within UI and UX. And stuff like
I
that.
think there is two amazing combinations on the team. One is who is developing this. It's just the company, the group, the company itself, like the heart of the company. All of us are Bitcoiners. So, and especially for developers, if you have like all the developers that are Bitcoiners, understand Bitcoin, they have their level of building things are way higher than a regular developer, right? Because they've been investigating about Bitcoin for a while because they love it. It's different, like just as I started. So I had experiences, for example, developers that are good developers, but they didn't know about other wallets or how they function, so they would have to have this process of learning competitors before, and then they would develop something. And these guys, they already are there. They already know everything. Oh yeah, it's like that one. It's like that one. Or, and even the new ones, they're like on the top of the new programs, the new opportunities that we can partner. So this make the life like way easier. And also the fact that we bring with this thing around, we want to connect with the underground communities. So the idea is having these communities to test the product, to make sure they are like in the simple, using something that is super simple for them to understand.
Would this be available in America too as well? Or is it just going to be
everywhere? Okay. Like we don't have problems with the verifications, right? Like the idea is that, right? Like we're not going to ask anything to people like email, ID or something like that. So
I think that, see, like right now, like a lot of the stuff that we as Bitcoiners, say that is the best onboarding process for like the average normal person, is like Cash App or Strike, right? Like that's the one that we always go to, first. It's like, oh yeah, go buy Bitcoin on Cash App, go buy Bitcoin on Swan, or not Swan, but on Strike. we always point there first. But it would be interesting to see, like, you would remove an entire hurdle, the KYC stuff and all that stuff, AML stuff. But that's cool.
Yeah. I hope we can make it as better as possible. But like from what I'm seeing, I'm so excited. Like,
nice.
I mean, I'm very biased.
Now you got me excited about it. Man, I want to see this thing. Gosh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it now. That's cool. Got a nice little present next year.
Yes.
I'm pumped now. See how you're getting us pumped, Renata? This is what you bring to Fetty. I wasn't as pumped. I wasn't as pumped until I talked to you about it. I'm like, yeah. All this technical stuff I hear about Fetty, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds all good and about right, I guess. I don't know anything, but like now you're telling me like, oh no, this is the hurdle. These are the hurdles we'll be able to jump. These are the things that we'll be able to clear. And we don't have to worry about these things that we would in these normal circumstances with some of these other apps. And I feel like, that sells me on it for sure.
I mean, again, I know self-custody would be like the best thing for everyone. But by experience, and this is not Obi telling me to say this or anyone, it's just like I'm seeing people really having difficulties to understand the concept of self-custody, but also how to do this with Bitcoin, right? So the fact that Fedi wants to make it easier and also better than the third party, we say like second party. I like it because it's kind of in the middle of the way. And my hope is like some point people are going to realize, oh, okay, I'm going to use the second party for this. And my self-custody with the time, they're going to realize, oh, I can use now. I'm ready for this, So
yeah, especially if you're earning rewards of some sort. Gosh,
exactly.
That's going to be even. That's going to throw gasoline on everything as well too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so I'm super excited. I know. I'm doing the teaser around.
No, it's good though. It's getting me thinking.
They don't kill me for doing this.
That's really cool. I can't wait. But we need people like you out there talking about it this way, and that's kind of your skill set, right? Like your skill set is this type of conversation that can get out to the regular people, because here at Thriller, like we reach an Austin audience, but we also reach like a normal audience, worldwide and stuff. So it's kind of cool that you're to know this stuff, even if it's just a teaser. Like this is what you do.
That's what I'm doing. That's true. I'm with the mission to bring Fedi in a very simple way to people as well. And I'm glad that the product team is helping me a lot with that as well. So it's going to be great. Yeah.
I can't wait to see what it looks like. Well, I don't want to take up your whole day, but do you have anything else as far as like what we should be on the lookout for as far as like Fedi or just Renata? Like I know you said you're going to be at a couple of conferences. Should people be reaching out to you and when they see you out there and like it would be cool, it would be cool to have you do a Fedi workshop here at Pleb Lab whenever you have time.
Oh, with pleasure. I mean, let's say I would love to do this. Like I can't wait like to talk more about the product. Of course, like we need to finish, but yes, I think you guys gonna hear a lot about this next year. And, but I think more than Renata or more than Fedi, what I feel is like, right now, everyone is on a mission to educate people. And I'm so excited to see this happening. And I want just to suggest for everyone to tell their stories, like, don't be afraid to open up yourself to the others. One of the things that I learned a lot, and this doesn't change, it's storytelling is the most efficient thing that human beings have been done since they are human beings. So use your story. Don't be afraid to open up to the others. I know this is also, it's related to privacy. So we want to be private in our relationship with the others online or Bitcoin, but feel also open to talk about your story. I've been meeting like such amazing people in Bitcoin, and sometimes they go straight to the technology and they forget about themselves, their heart the heart that is behind the technology, right? That moves us. So in the end of the day, we're peer-to-peer, right? Real people moving money around the globe, basically.
Yeah, at light speed, right? Like it's it's also too those soft touches, right? It's like you don't know like who you're going to be impacting from a distance if you spread your story, your light, your openness, and like who you are, and then you don't know what kind of impact you'll do globally by doing that. So true. Yes,
send a good energy like you, Car, doing here to us as well. I totally believe that if you send good things to people, good things gonna come around and gonna be back to you as well. So send the good vibe behind Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for coming on the show, Renata. I really appreciate you so much. Where can people find you?
Oh, I'm Loba Estrangeira and Twitter. But I'm also on Telegram. I'm everywhere. I love the channels. All the channels are open for you guys. And feel free to reach out. And looking forward to telling you guys more about what's coming.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, we'll link it all to the show notes. But amazing conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for opening up this space for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted you on sooner, but we just couldn't get the scheduling right. But like, I think this is a good start because I can't wait to get filled in next year when you can start saying more things. But this is a good teaser for before the end of the year, right? So, and I'm curious what music you're gonna put. What song do you want? We'll put it. No, I'm curious. Now I forgot to ask you, what's your favorite genre of music? Oh my God, I'm so eclectic. But right now I'm into African music. Like I love like Burna Boy, Rema. It's like it's what plays in my car in the morning when I drop kids in the school. I put like in the highest volume, and all the parents look at me like the crazy mom at 7 a.m. That's amazing. Yeah, me too. I always like play really loud music in the morning when I'm getting up and getting dressed, and I start dancing and stuff. Do you ever do that where you just start dancing when you're getting dressed, and you're probably like, "What is going on?" But like for me, that's the only way to wake up in the morning is like with music and dancing. I don't know. I love music. I have at home, like, as a Mom's Day gift, they gave it to me like the DJ table. So I play around. I love it. I love music. Nice. Yes. I'm going to get you to do a DJ set at some point. Yes. It's a very eclectic one. My team in Paxful, like we had everyone from everywhere. We used to do like jam sessions. Nice. So they're going to bring like music from different parts of the world. So yes, I love it. Cool. Babata pamoreri pasina raramo. Baja patumbuka pamoreri pasina raramo.
shall we do?